In the harsh, unforgiving landscapes of 12th century Mongolia, a child named Temujin, later known as Genghis Khan, was born. This period in history was a time of relentless tribal warfare, where survival was a constant battle against nature and rival tribes. Mongolia, a land of rugged mountains and vast steppes, was a cradle of such tribes, each fiercely independent and often at odds with one another. In this challenging environment, Temujin came into existence in the year 1162. His birth was accompanied by a prophecy, a prediction that this child would grow to be a great leader. The tribal society he was born into was harsh and unforgiving, a crucible that would forge one of history's most formidable conquerors. Amid the constant strife and harsh conditions, Temujin's spirit was tempered, preparing him for the trials and triumphs that lay ahead. The stage was set for the rise of a warrior who would change the world. Temujin's early life was marked by struggle and hardship, but these trials forged him into a formidable leader. Born into a world of constant conflict, Temujin, who we'll come to know as Genghis Khan, faced adversity from an early age. When he was just a teenager, rival tribes kidnapped him, reducing the future Khan to a life of servitude. Far from being defeated, Temujin used this adversity to fuel his resolve, honing his survival skills and developing a keen understanding of tribal politics. In a daring escape, Temujin reclaimed his freedom, proving himself to be not just a survivor, but a warrior. He began to attract loyal followers, drawn to his charisma and the promise of a united Mongolia. Temujin's reputation as a leader grew, and with it, his power. But his rise was not without conflict. Tribal feuds were a common occurrence, and Temujin had to navigate a complex web of alliances and rivalries. He was not always successful, and at times he faced significant setbacks, but his determination never wavered. In the year 1206, Temujin achieved what had seemed impossible. After years of relentless struggle, he managed to unite the warring Mongolian tribes under one banner. It was at this moment that he adopted the title that would echo through the ages, Genghis Khan. The name Genghis Khan was more than just a title. It was a declaration of his intent and a symbol of his authority. It meant universal ruler, and it was a promise to his people of the greatness that was to come. With the Mongolian tribes under his rule, Genghis Khan began to forge one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. His leadership was marked by innovative military strategies, administrative brilliance, and an unwavering thirst for expansion. With the Mongolian tribes under his rule, Genghis Khan set his sights on the vast world beyond his homeland. His rise to power was monumental, but it was only the beginning of the Khan's incredible journey. The true test would come as he ventured beyond the familiar grasslands of Mongolia into the unknown. Genghis Khan's reign brought about an era of conquest unprecedented in history. With an iron fist and a keen mind, he carved out an empire that spanned from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe, from Siberia to Afghanistan, creating the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. But how did he achieve this monumental feat? The answer lies in his innovative military strategies. Genghis Khan revolutionized warfare. He organized his army into decimal units, a system where groups of 10, 100, 1,000 and 10,000 soldiers operated as one fluid entity. He leveraged the mobility and speed of his horsemen, turning them into a swift and deadly force that could strike with the precision of a falcon. Genghis Khan also embraced the use of psychological warfare, spreading fear and terror to demoralize his enemies. But he was not just a warlord, he was a statesman. He introduced a meritocratic system, where positions of power were earned through skill and loyalty, not birthright. This meritocracy fostered a sense of unity and loyalty among his followers, further strengthening his rule. Beyond warfare and governance, Genghis Khan's reign also saw cultural and intellectual advancements. One of his most significant contributions was the establishment of a written Mongolian language. Until then, the Mongols had no written language of their own. With its creation, Genghis Khan paved the way for the preservation and propagation of Mongol history, culture, and tradition. Genghis Khan's empire was not just built on blood and iron, but also on innovation and wisdom. He was a man ahead of his time, a visionary who saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. Genghis Khan passed away in 1227, but his empire didn't die with him. His successors carried on his legacy, expanding the empire even further. The Mongol Empire, like its founder, was a testament to the power of innovation, resilience, and sheer force of will. The world had never seen anything like it before, and it may never see anything like it again. Genghis Khan's legacy lives on, centuries after his death. His influence permeates the fabric of our world, from the borders of nations to the genetic makeup of its people. Born to a nomadic tribe in the harsh steppes of Mongolia, Genghis Khan rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential figures in history, and his legacy is a testament to this. Genghis Khan's descendants, known as the House of Borjigin, continued to rule vast territories long after his death. They established powerful dynasties, including the Yuan dynasty in China and the Ilkhanate in Persia, shaping the political and cultural landscapes of these regions. His rule also brought about lasting legal changes. The Yasa, a code of laws established by Khan, promoted order and discipline within his vast empire. It laid the groundwork for modern concepts of diplomacy and international law, such as granting diplomats immunity. Equally fascinating is Genghis Khan's genetic legacy. Recent studies suggest that nearly 1 in 200 men alive today are direct descendants of Genghis Khan. This astonishing figure underscores the vast reach of his empire and the lasting impact of his rule. Yet the legacy of the great Khan is not without controversy. His conquests were marked by unprecedented violence and destruction. Millions perished in his campaigns, cities were razed to the ground, and entire cultures were nearly wiped off the map. These atrocities have cast a long shadow over his achievements, complicating our understanding of this complex figure. But regardless of the perspective one takes, there's no denying the indelible impact Genghis Khan has had on our world. His life story is one of extraordinary ascendance, from a destitute nomad to the ruler of the largest contiguous land empire in history. Genghis Khan, a man of humble origins, left a mark on the world that time has yet to erase.